Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. Y'all know it is Sunday, and so it is mimosas and makeup. And I'll show you what I have today. I got a little lipstick on here. This is Rose Bubbles. It is by 14 Hands Winery, Unicorn Rose Bubbles, and it's really, really good. So this is great because it is, let me tell you, it's 13% and it's like 200 something calories for the whole can, and the carbs are low. So right up my alley. And this is a great video because today I'm gonna show you all of my Notoriously Morbid palettes. I asked if you all wanted to see them and y'all said yeah. So if you wanna hang out, swatch some shades and see some really unique palettes, keep watching this video and let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I would love to have you back. All right, let's get started. All right, you guys, so FYI, I'm still trying to figure out something I did off with my camera setting. I think it looks okay, but I'm still playing around. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Notoriously Morbid. So if you don't know, Notoriously Morbid is one of my favorite indie brands. They are a brand I discovered pretty early on in my little makeup journey when I went down the indie rabbit hole. I feel like my love for them has like sparked up again, or just been rekindled, I guess I'd like to say, when I tried their Rusted Essence palette, and I do have a video for that. It just made me want to go into my collection and just look at all of my palettes, and you all said that you wanted to see it too, so here we are. We're just going to be looking at the palettes today. First, I want to show you the look that I have on, and I will have a video on this, like a Do We Still Love Her. This is the Loki palette. Oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite palettes. Like, look at that shimmer in the middle. It is so beautiful, and I will show you this palette as part of my collection. Now, I want to say that there are two palettes that I am missing, and they are quads, My Story and My Soul. I have no idea where these palettes have disappeared to, because I keep all of my Notoriously Morbid palettes together and they are not with their siblings. So if I do happen to find them anytime soon, I'll definitely post them on Instagram, and I know I have a video with them, but unfortunately they're not going to be in this video. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to turn the exposure down just a little bit so we can see like the true colors, but I'm so excited to share these palettes with you all. So Notoriously Morbid has a physical store in West Virginia. They sell clothes and all kinds of other products aside from makeup, but I'm just so glad that I found this brand. This is the palette that started it all. This is the Rip My Effing Heart Out palette, and this was Valentine's Day 2021. And here's what the palette looks like. I love the cover art that's on the sticker, and then on the back you have the little conversation hearts with the colors of the shades and the names. And I love this. I love this palette. And here's what it looks like. So this palette has 3 mattes that you can see here, and then the rest are shimmers. This one's more of like a flaky. I don't recall using that one as much, but let's just take a look at a couple standouts. So Please Stop. I love this one. This is that pink to gold flip that I love so much. I have some swatches from Loki there. It says Please Stop. We have the shade Get Wrecked, and I just love like the depth of this. It's almost like that like black type blue. Beautiful shade. And I mean, I could swatch all of these, but we've got a lot of palettes to go through. So yeah, these two are standouts for me. And like from that palette, I fell in love with the brand. Now, I'm not gonna do all of these in order, but I'm pretty sure that the next palette that I purchased was this one. This is one of the most unique eyeshadow palettes in my collection. This is Path of the Dark Side. So, you know, it's a Star Wars inspired palette. They have the shades and the colors on the back. Look at this palette. I'm really hoping that this is capturing the true color. I turned the exposure down. I hope it's enough. But oh my gosh, like I can't think of another palette that looks like this. I'm thinking maybe The Waiting Room by Melt, kind of, but not really. So, all right, let's just look at some of these shades. Absinthe Minded, that's this one. And like there are these like multicolor reflex in this shade, in a lot of their shades actually, that are just really, really different. Season of the Sith. And this is like that black red duochrome. It's real smooth. You see it there. Very, very unique. And this is kind of a multi-chrome because when I'm looking at it, I see like the red, but I also see some gold in it. We have Suspicious Minds. How cute are the names? This is another black with multicolored sparkles off. So these are just a few of the standouts. This one right here, oh my gosh. This reminds me of one of the shades in the Isamaya Beauty palette. It's the shade Whip. I always think about Notoriously Morbid because that shadow kind of feels like the Notoriously Morbid shimmers. This one is really special. I love this. Next I have Absinthe and Lace. This is another, I mean, all of them are creative, so I'm not gonna say that for each palette. But here's Absinthe and Lace. And this palette has this green in here. It is one of the most unique eyeshadow formulas I've ever felt. And I thought it wasn't going to work well. And I was so surprised in the video where I picked up that shadow with a brush and it went on beautifully. Like here, it just looks like nothing, but I don't even know what it feels like. It's just really smooth and it's not picking up as well, but with a brush, it was beautiful. So looking at it there, I don't know, it's not really doing it justice, but Flamin' Sugar, let's take a look at that. I haven't swatched a lot of these shades in a long time, so I'm really happy. So there's Flamin' Sugar. So you have, that's kind of a orangey gold duochrome. Cloudy Haze, that's another one that's really different. Really interesting color right there. And I don't know. I hate saying the camera's not doing it justice, but it's not. It's really not. Let's look at Changing Alchemy. This one's also really interesting. This is a really nice topper shade. I don't know. Let me see if I can turn, not if I can, but let me turn the, let me see. Okay, here we go. All right, so do y'all see, okay, here we go. Here we go. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, this is unreal, okay? This amount of sparkles, unreal. Like, look at that, look at that. So here's the Changing Alchemy shade. Like, it's so sparkly. It's gonna give your lid like that wet, toppery look. Yeah, maybe these are just better without the light. I just needed y'all to see that because I think the ring light was really like blowing these out in a way that wasn't showcasing the best of these shades. We also have the shade Frosted Water. Yeah, we might have to do it like this, y'all, because look at that. Look how pretty. Those are some standouts from Absinthe and Lace, and like I can't stop looking at these two right here. This is another great palette.
Wow.
Hello.
What am I getting back?
Oh, I don't know. You can use that one though. Oh my God. All right, I hope y'all don't mind looking at the shades like this because I need y'all to really I need y'all to see these shades. So we have Eclipse the Sun. This is a more recent one. All right, so this one is one where if you put these over a black base, you're gonna like double these shades. And this was like, you know, a beautiful, not as grungy palette for Notoriously Morbid. It has 2 mattes in it. And just gonna swatch a couple of the shades. Let's try Aurora, which is this one here. Like, how beautiful is that? And I mean, I could swatch them all. Matcha's beautiful as well. Yeah, and I mean, All of these are gorgeous. Again, another really unique color story and concept from Notoriously Morbid. This one right here, this was available for 3 days. This is the We Don't Always Cha 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 palette, Friday the 13th. Look at this palette. So let's look at Executioner. Executioner is this one. Beautiful. Why don't I hear the mail truck? It is 9:30. I can't. And I know it's the mail truck. This is Final Girl. And so that's like what I really wanted you all to see. And I'm so glad I turned the lights off because the finish, it's the finish. Like I have a ton of indie shadows, single shadows, but the finish is so unique to the brand. Let's try Death Curse. That'll be the last one from this palette that we'll swatch. Oh, that's a beautiful blue. So yeah, let me know what you think about those. I'd love for them to bring that palette back. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was gone. Next I have Carpe Noctem. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look, y'all. Look at that. Let's look at Calignus. This one doesn't have as much sparkle, but it does have some. It's beautiful. And some of their shades do have the really sparkly finish, and then some of them are just more foil. Not just more foil, but they still do contain some different multicolored flecks. Leaden is another pretty one. So yeah, these are different, see? Let's check out Premonition. Oh, that's gorgeous too. Let's check out Somber. Come on, like ridiculous. So yeah, another really beautiful palette. This one's quite big. Notoriously Morbid also has a softer side to it, and this is Rose from the Dead. If you're the type of person that likes like the Rose Quartz, Huda Beauty palette, things like that, this palette I feel like would be a great indie palette like to have. Now this palette wasn't my favorite, but I loved seeing like the softer looks from the brand. Let's check out Beloved, and I'm gonna look at Coimentarion. So Beloved is kind of a light toppery shade, sparkly, and then Coimentarion is like almost the opposite of that, kind of antique-y. So yeah, so this palette was a bit cool for me. Again, it wasn't my favorite one. I was really surprised to see them come out with this palette. I just thought it was really different for Notoriously Morbid. Now I have to say that one of my favorite palettes is the one that I'm wearing right now. And like, do you see the sparkle? This is the Loki palette. So there's Loki, and here's what it looks like. And the shade I'm gonna start out with is Glorious Purpose. That's the one that's on the center of my lid. This is probably one of the best shades ever. Like the flip in this is so beautiful. Trust My Rage is another gorgeous shade. Let's put that here. There's Trust My Rage. Let's look at Born to Be a King. It's a beautiful foresty green. That one's more like a metallic with a few sparkles. So those are just a few shades from Loki. Now let's do one more. Let's do Stolen Relic. That's this one here. Like, look how opaque that is. All right, y'all, then for Christmas, we had the Catching the Naughty palette. That was this one. This is from Christmas 2021. Look at this. So really, really unique color stories. Let's start with Grub Von Krampus, which is this shade here. Just look how like grungy black that green is. So just like really unique undertones. Like, and this is one of those brown, like green flip shades that we see a lot. We have this really nice swirl shade here called Horns and Tongue. And it really just comes out almost as like a frosty, like shimmery white. And it depends like how white it is or shimmery, because you do get a little bit of that red in there. Let's take a look at Krampus Schnapps. Nice iridescence to that shade. And I love this because it's kind of like, it's a naughty Christmas palette, which, you know, is really interesting to me. We have the shade Fanged. So those are just a few shades from Catching the Naughty. I did do a video with Rusted Essence. I love this palette. I really, really do. I think Fur and Feathers is the one that really stood out, and I really, really like that shade. That's it here. There's Fur and Feathers. So I'm just trying to catch like different parts of the lights so you can just see its true color. I'm Haunted is another really nice one from the palette. And if this is your first time hearing me talk about Notoriously Morbid, some of these shadows are like loose pigments, but like pressed at the same time. So you do need a glitter glue, and I am going to be purchasing their Shadow Bind, and that's their glitter primer. They always recommend a glitter primer because of the nature of the eyeshadows. And you can probably see why, because I'm kind of a glittery mess, but I really do not mind these shades at all. I don't mind these pigments. I just think they are spectacular. And this shade is called Self Pity Sick. That's more of a foil. This one doesn't have the sparkle that the other shades have. So I like the different formulas that they have as well. I'm gonna show you the same shades again with the lights on. I just feel like with the lights on, you just can't really grasp just how beautiful they are. So I'm just gonna show them to you again, and then I'm gonna clean off my arm because I have 3 more palettes, and 2 of them I have not swatched yet. So I cannot wait to share those. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I'm back, and we are gonna pick up with Pretty Poison. There's the front, back. Look at this one, y'all. How pretty is that? All right, let's get into a couple of these shades. I'm gonna need to drink. This is all like about mushrooms. I love this, like, look at that shift. This one's called Fungus Among Us. This one's like super smooth. And I don't know if it's gonna swatch the best, but it comes out so pretty on the eye. And look, that has a green. A couple of these are like flakies. Some of these are really smooth, like they're not gonna swatch super well. Like this one's called No Cap. So I really had to like dig into this one. And look how pretty that is. Again, that's another sparkly shade. And like you can wear these by themselves, but they make really great toppers too. Like look at, I can't. So yeah, this is another great one. And last but not least, we're gonna end off with 2 palettes I didn't get a chance to film. And it's Mystery Ink and Summertime Sadness. And I was out of town when these came in. Now, I don't know if Mystery Ink is still available, but I know Summertime Sadness is not. And that was the one that people really, really, really liked. So I didn't want to do a video with it because it was gone, and it is not coming back, sadly. Summertime Sadness. So here's Mystery Ink, and look how cute the back is. Look, I still have the paper on here. I haven't even touched this one. And here is the palette. So I'm not gonna swatch all of it, but let me see. I wanna swatch Work to Do. That's this blue here. See what we're working with. Ooh, this is pretty. And that's nice. You can see some silver there. This one looks nice. This is called Jinkies. And you see Glam Light has a Scooby-Doo collection coming. I love that orange. Oh, I love that too. Ooh, let's do Meddling Kids. That's this one, Meddling Kids. That's pretty. So that's just 3 of the shades. If you have any of these palettes, or even if you don't and you want look inspo, let me know. I just, when they don't have something anymore, it's like I'm gonna feel kind of like, I don't want to film with it. But let us end with this one here, y'all. Summertime Sadness. And look at that artwork. So beautiful. And here's the back. This palette is crazy. This palette is crazy. Like, that's amazing. I don't even know. Like, feeling crabby. Let's look at that. Oh, wow. Now this is kind of a, oh, this might be a flaky. Yeah. This one though, it looks like you can really liquefy it though. Look at that right there. Sad Bastard. It's like bass, like the fish. Sad Bastard. But look at that. I need y'all to see that up close. All right, I think this is Boss Beach. I'm not sure. Sometimes they invert shades and I get confused. Yeah, I'm not sure about the names. Let's do this one. I want to look at one of these shades at the top. Let's check this one out here. This one's pretty smooth. And last but not least, let's do Stay Salty. And that's pretty. It's like I really feel like I have to move my arm so you can see like all the dimension, because sometimes when they swatch, it's like, I don't necessarily know if you see anything special, but it is definitely there. And here are those shades with the light on. All right, and that's it. I can't find those last 2 quads, and I wish I could, because there's one that's like blue, but there's this blue shade in there that's unreal. I am gonna have to dig and find them. I don't even know where to dig because I thought they were all in the same spot. So I have some searching to do, but I really hope that you enjoyed seeing some of those swatches from the palettes. I really wish I could sit and swatch them all, but we would definitely be here all day. But if you want to see looks with any of them, let me know. If you have any of them and you need some more inspo, let me know, because I would be happy to do that. I do have a video with the Loki palette that's going to be up this week, because I just hadn't worn it in a while and just wanted to see, like, do I still love her? Yes, I do. Like, who doesn't love green eyeshadow? Like, it's so beautiful. So let me know what you think about the palettes that you saw. Let me know if you feel like, you know, these are unique. Now, you know, I have a lot of indie singles and I have a ton of eyeshadow palettes, but I have to say that Notoriously Morbid has one of the most unique formulas that I have tried. And I'm not a person that can tell a huge difference in like a lot of eyeshadow formulas or a lot of makeup products sometimes. Like when I have like my bronzer, I'm like, they all look the same or they all feel the same. But every once in a while I'll get something and I'll be like, oh no, that's different. And I feel like that about certain eyeshadows. Notoriously Morbid is one of them. And I will say that, you know, if you like indie, you, like me, are probably seeing a lot of all shimmer palettes, a lot of new indie branches popping up. And then, you know, I have had the experience where I've ordered something from certain brands and I'm like comparing the palettes to like palettes that I have, and I'm like, did y'all all just like buy this from the same person? Because sometimes I feel like I have exact dupes, like formula and shade and everything. Notoriously Morbid is different. It's a different formula. It's different from Terra Moons, from Divina, from Unearthly, from Adept. It's different from all of them. So if you want to try that brand out, or you're interested in trying a new indie brand, but you're worried about the formula being the same, it's not. It's different than them all. I will also say, and I probably did say it in the video, you have to use a glitter primer or spray your brush for these shades, because when you go into them with the brush, you can see that they are kind of loose. So like I will use my finger, or if I take like a flat shader or something dense, like I start by just tapping it in so that I don't, you know, get a bunch of fallout on my face, because you will get that. So that's why they recommend you using it, but it's totally worth it, like for the look in the end, because I absolutely love this. And a lot of their palettes, if you don't want the whole palette, they do often sell the shades in the palette as singles, which I think is a great option for people who are more so into singles that don't want wasted shades in the palette. I'm so happy that I found this brand. I'm so happy they asked me to be on their PR list, but I would continue if I wasn't to buy their palettes. Like I didn't get Rusted Essence in PR. I don't know if they gave PR, I don't even know, but I was like, nope, I want that palette. Like it's different, it's beautiful. I actually opted to get that one over the Hollow Bean palette because I just knew that that one was gonna be a palette that I was gonna be able to create some wearable looks that I really, really liked. Whereas the Hollow Bean one, I just felt like it was like really Halloween. This is like fall, and it's just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I am gonna put some content creators in the description box who put the Notoriously Morbid swatches up and their palettes up, you know, aside from myself, because there's not a lot. There's not a lot. I feel like Notoriously Morbid is so underrated, and I really wish they would promote themselves more, because I think a lot of people would be interested in a brand like this. But I do think the name Notoriously Morbid may throw some people off, but the brand is amazing. I am thankful again that I came across this brand. So that's gonna be it for this Mimosas and Makeup. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today. I hope this was therapy for you, because it always is for me. Until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.